Welcome back, guys. It's Daniel from Salty Boys Fishing, and we got BJ from the Wild Bearing.
That's right.
What are we going to be talking about today, BJ?
We're going to talk about a little bit of spear fishing.
Well, let's dive right in then.
All right. So spear fishing. Why spear fishing versus reel and rod?
I don't know. You guys see my channel. I like to use a rod and reel, so we're going to let BJ take this one.
All right, yeah, I like this is my opinion. You know, other people might have different views or reasons on why they spearfish, but for me, I like it because you get to be down in the environment and see everything that's under there. You get to see the fish. You get to see some cool reefs. You know, hunt them down and get them, and it's also kind of a challenge, and it's like active fishing, you know. So you get chased after the little fishies. Oh no! And then
then speak to us, since you get to see the environments all the time. Why don't you go ahead and speak to some of the environments where are you going to do some spearfishing in?
Oh yeah, great. So typically, just like reel and rod fishing, where do you look for structure? And whether that be a sunken ship, whether that be reefs, whether it be rocks, weeds. That's where fish like to be. So even in spearfishing, that's where you want to go.
There are some laws, though, when you got to look out for, such as in Florida, you need to be at least 100 yards from the public beach area, a fishing pier, or any bridges where fishing is allowed. So you can't be fishing at jetties unless they're at least 1,500 yards long, which there's not too many of those around. So really, if you're going to be fishing a lot of these structures, you're going to be having to go offshore a little bit, or on some private docks. You may know some friends there you can fish on. So, well, you're fishing on some of these sunken ships. Are you going to be free diving or scuba diving?
Well, I mean, that's up to you. But, you know, depth does play into that, and how long you can hold your breath. So, there are also, when you are scuba diving, the bubbles from the scuba can sometimes, the sound of that can scare the fish away. So, but it's important that if you are scuba diving, really get proficient scuba diving and then work in spearfishing later on.
And you have some videos on your scuba diving playlist that we'll link in the description right there. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about how to get into scuba diving, you'll check out the Wild Bearing, and he'll set you straight.
Yeah. So going back to the laws. So when you are scuba diving, it's important for you to have an understanding of like the size, type, and like of the fish that you're getting, because when you're underwater, if you shoot the wrong fish, or spear it, it's it's not like rod and reel where you can just like take it off the hook and throw it back. No, that fish is dead. So really, be confident before you take your shot that you're going to be spearing a fish that you're going to keep and eat. If you're not going to eat the fish, then I would recommend you just stick with the reel and rod fishing, and you can throw it back, because you're spearfishing, you're going to be killing the fish. So if you're not going to eat it, then...
Well, what about some of the invasive species such as lionfish?
Yeah, that's actually another reason why I do spearfish as well, is because you're helping out the underwater environments, because lionfish are an invasive species, and they're kind of overpopulating a lot of these reefs and like sunken ship areas, and because they don't have any natural predators. So actually, there's a lot of competitions. They're sending out spearfishers to basically clean up these lionfish, and they make for some good eating too. So
they are delicious.
Yeah.
So also when you're underwater, it's very important to know what different species look like, such as billfish, bonefish, tarpon, redfish, and snook. All those species, and there are more, you need to check with your local regulations, are illegal to spearfish no matter what size they are. So it's also very important to not be shooting some of these endangered species, or just protected species for that matter. So make sure you look into that.
Yeah, and when you're getting started, first you need to look at, okay, am I going to use a spear gun, or a Hawaiian sling? And that goes into the size of fish that you're going to be targeting. For smaller fish, small, medium-sized fish, probably look at getting a Hawaiian sling. It's actually probably good to start out with that, you know, because you don't want to start out spearfishing going after these bigger fish, start smaller. And then work your way up to bigger fish and using a spear gun. And you can look into like the poundage and how many bands are on your spear gun and that sort of thing.
When you're shooting big fish, you know what they say, right?
What do they say?
Size matters.
That's right.
So make sure you take down the fish with the right type of gear, because if you're either going to lose your gun or you could get dragged into some dangerous situations if the large fish takes off running and you're scuba diving. It can really drag you down to places that you don't want.
Yeah.
So
hey, back to what you said. Size matters, but bigger is not always better. Because if you're going after these smaller fish, why lug around this giant spear gun when you can have a Hawaiian sling and be more nimble? You
are very nimble, BJ.
I am. Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching today. If you guys enjoyed that video, check out our fishing basics playlist. We're gonna have more podcast style videos like this, trying to teach you and teach us a little bit more about fishing. So.
Yeah.
I'm Daniel from Salty Boys Fishing.
And I'm BJ from the Wild Bearing.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, have a good day.